Hello, this is Watch All About with another watch review, and in this review we're looking at the very latest offering from Spinnaker. So this is the Spinnaker Tesei Titanium. Now there's been a lot of talk about the bronze version, but this is slightly cheaper. It has a Miyota movement instead of a Swiss movement, and it's made of titanium rather than bronze. So let's open her up, and here we have the watch in question. So we have a little tag here, obviously the watch on its own little cushion. What else have we got in here? A little bit of paperwork, blah blah blah, and a polishing cloth as well. So that's the unboxing process. I find the Spinnaker boxes a bit underwhelming, not too exciting at all. So there we have it. Let's just put all that stuff to one side and look at the watch itself. Okay, so here we have the watch in question. So this is the Spinnaker Tesei Titanium, code SP-5061. So this is actually being launched on November the 9th, that's 2018. And there's a pre-launch period for where you can get it cheaper between the 9th and the 21st of November, $349 or £265. After that, the RRP is $520 or about £400. But when that comes into play, don't forget you can use my code WIAA20. That's WIAA20 as in Watch All About. That will get you 20% off anything on the Spinnaker website. So keep that in mind when you do order anything from the Spinnaker website. So without further ado, let's talk about some of the specs. So obviously the first thing to keep in mind is the fact that it is titanium. It is a titanium case, so it's using titanium grade 5. Nicer, dull, matte kind of finish to it. That also means that it is extremely lightweight. So our dimensions, 43mm in diameter, so it certainly is an impressive looking and impressively sized timepiece. 15.5mm height. So again, pretty big on that perspective. And then 51mm lug-to-lug length as well. So yeah, certainly is a decent sized watch. If you have small wrists, then it might be one you want to avoid. I've got approximately a 7.25 inch wrist for reference. Weight-wise, 85 grams, so it is really lightweight. Obviously, that is because of the titanium. It is naturally a very light metal, and it is, it does usually with a watch this size, 43mm with steel, it would be over 100 grams. So it is a little unusual having a watch this size, this light as well. Water resistance is a good 20 atmospheres or 200 meters. That it has a screw-in crown, obviously, so that will help. So that is very good. You can certainly swim with that, no problems at all. 22mm lug width as well, so nice, decent sized strap to go on with the relatively large sized case. 2-year warranty you get with this as well. And then the movement is, as I mentioned before, this is sort of like the cheaper brother of the bronze, because the bronze has the Swiss Auto. This has a Miyota 8215, obviously a little bit more affordable, not quite as posh or fancy as the Swiss Auto alternative. So the movement, Miyota 8215, it has a regular beat of 21.6 thousand beats per hour. So that ticks at 6 ticks per second. 21 joules, approximately 40-hour power reserve as well. So, all the pretty standard stuff. But the Miyota 8215, it is a real workhorse movement. So it is going to, do you pretty well. And it's good to see that we have a customized rotor on it as well. So that's pretty neat. Other specs include decent lume, actually, C5 Superluminova. So we can sort of see it glowing a little bit there. And a military spec Cordura strap. So it's a little bit stiff to begin with. I mean, I don't know if you saw me struggling a little bit to get it on, but obviously it will break in with time. It is very thick, and it's leather backed as well, and it's got a little bit of leather there as well to protect it. Yeah, so it's certainly a strap that you'll be able to go swimming with. Just be careful of the leather backing. Okay, so let's discuss it aspect by aspect then. Starting off with the dial. So a very nice, bold, simple dial. Let me just give the crystal a bit of a wipe down. Straightforward design, really. It's good that we've got this textured base as well, keeps things a little bit interesting. And then all the detailing, the applied elements have the same kind of brushed border to them, which matches the titanium case nicely. I do like the pretty straightforward hands as well, just a straight baton with ever so slightly clipped edges on the top. It's nice to see something a little bit different to the the same old Submariner Mercedes kind of hand, so it is nice. The Spinnaker logo is applied but very lightly. It's kind of like a sticker. That's the same on every Spinnaker. It's always a little bit disappointing, which is a shame. Print work's all nice and neat though, and we've got a nice little border on the date as well. The dial, nicely designed, can't complain, apart from maybe the logo. I would have liked to have seen it be a little bit better. Moving on to the case, really, really good manufacturing on the case. The bezel has an all right movement. It sounds a little bit tacky, and there's a tiny bit of back wobble as well on it, but it looks really nice. It has a nice like matte insert as well, which suits the rest of the case really nicely. And obviously our loomed pip at 12. Good grip as well, so it is nice and easy to use. We have a really, really heavily domed, single dome crystal as well, and as you can see we're getting loads of reflections on it, so the anti-reflective crystal isn't the most effective anti-reflective coating that's on the underside. I mean, you can sort of see it trying to work a little bit. We've got like blue flashes around like that, but it is quite reflective, which is a bit of a bummer. Moving on to the crown, as you can see, same finishing as the rest of the case. Spinnaker logo engraved on the end as well, which is really nice and neat. Really easy to use as well. Flipping over to our exhibition case back, showing off the logo nicely, and then some various specifics surrounding the outside. So no complaints there whatsoever with the case. Moving on to the strap. As I've sort of already mentioned it, it's nice and thick, but it does mean it is quite stiff to begin with, a little bit difficult to work with, but when you have it on, it does provide a really nice, solid wear, and it looks the part as well. Strap looks really good when you're wearing it, and of course we have our titanium buckle as well with the Spinnaker logo, nice and neatly engraved on the top there. Okay, so let's get the macro lens on and we'll have a look at it in closer detail. Starting off with the dial. So here we have our logo, you can see there stuck on, and here we have some of our hour markers with that kind of brushed border to them, and there's our date window 2, which has a polished surround which doesn't quite go, but it's still nicely applied. Here's our hands. Print work at the bottom, very nice and neatly done as well. Try and get a decent shot on these hour markers there. Okay, so moving on to the case. So here's a bezel insert, got a little bit of grubbiness surrounding the loom pip, might be a bit of glue maybe, but our insert in itself, really nice and neatly done. Here's our grip on the titanium bezel as well, and obviously we're going into our case now. We see our blasted finish, looks really great, really good sharp edges as well, excellent crisp manufacturing on the case. Here's our crown, as you can see, good grip on that, again really nice and neat, spotless almost manufacturing on that. Flipping it over, have a look at our case back, got some details surrounding the outside here. It's obviously screwing as well, so that helps with the water resistance. And then having a quick look at our movement. Here's our rotor. So technically it's customized, but in reality it's just basically a sticker which is stuck on, but it's still nice to see the effort. This Miyota, the 8215, isn't a particularly good looking movement. It's very industrial, very to the point, but it's still nice to see it. I like to see any movement at all. There it is, ticking away. So it looked good, but no sort of pearlage or stripings or anything like that on the bridges. A little bit rustic, shall we say. And then moving on to the strap, here's the top stitching of the Kudura strap. Nicely done. Nice bit of orange detailing on either side as well. Splash of colour. Got a leather central section as well going down the middle, which obviously will help with longevity. Flipping it over, you've just got this leather back. Got a Spinnaker printed on the short bit, for instance. And finally, we have our logo nice and accurately engraved on the titanium buckle as well, which has the same blasted finish as the case. Okay, so how do I feel about the watch? Well, I think it works really, really well. The crystal could probably do with being a little bit better. Let me just give the crystal a quick wipe. I think it's a little bit too reflective for my liking. But, to the naked eye, it's not quite as bad as when you're recording it. I mean, the camera always does pick up reflections. It displays them in the worst possible way. The case is really sublime. They've done a really good job on this titanium case. And it's just a shame that the Spinnaker, they haven't quite figured out a decent way of doing their logo just yet. But really, they're the only negatives. Bezel movement, yeah, of course, it's a little bit, doesn't sound or feel the best. In reality, how often do we use the bezel? It's not, I don't think that would be a make it or break it decision. Really nice strap as well. And just a general impression of the watch is really, really good. You certainly do get the feeling of very, very high quality craftsmanship, good fit and finish in general as well. Strong loom, and you can't really knock the movement either. I think the RRP is a little bit too high, $520, £400. Obviously, you can get 20% off that with the code WIAA20. But personally, I think at the launch price, $350, £265, that's a much more reasonable and price that you'd come to expect, really. So decent watch, really, really good. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you were to buy it, but personally, RRP too much. Good though if you use either my code or another code if you can find one. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. This was the latest release from Spinnaker, the Tesei Titanium SP-5061. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, please, like and comment, and see you around.